calming. So calming. Welcome back. So let's just say for the first time, truly relaunch to the Sarcastic News Network. All impromptu, pre-taped for now, until I can figure out how to make my camera that's in 4K project in 4K. But other than that, it's relatively okay. See if I can find some exciting news for the day. Are you fucking kidding me? There doesn't seem to be much. Let me look around. There's been Epstein files released, that's for sure. Big fucking story right now. Okay, let's just start this shit. Clinton set to testify tomorrow regarding the Epstein files. Now, do you really think Bill Clinton would be honest about the 29, 30, whatever the fuck amount, a lot of trips that he made over there? I personally don't. I hate to be a pessimist on that one, but I personally just do not. You know, but it's a good thing because, you know, our corrupted politicians, now they got us exactly, you know, where they want us. And we know what they do. And we can uprise over a guy getting fentanyl overdose and a knee to the neck. But no one will go nuts over finding out that a large percentage of the elites are pedophiles or owned by pedophiles. Not a big deal. And so, as much as the sarcasm goes, it's like, I'm not even sarcastic when I actually say it's a good thing to find this out, because now it's like, okay, now I know that this population is very subservient. But get back into my style. Let's just say, let's go with the next story and move on. UK Prime Minister calls on Prince Andrew. He's no longer a prince, by the way. We should be very sad about that. Andrew is no longer a prince. To testify to Jeffrey Epstein after document dump. Andrew. Obviously, you're the only one in the royal family that's a bad guy. The rest of your family is just so great. They're shining examples of England. They're the fucking... When you think of England in the royal family, you think of, like, stars. You know what I mean? They're just royal. You know, they can't go wrong. Even though the best ones seem to die. But then again, and they're not really part of the family originally, but... You know, things happen, you know? And I'm sure there was no conspiracy in Diane. Of course not. You know, there's never conspiracies, by the way. If you believe them, you're a fool. And conspiracies are for the wacko. Wackos who probably also do tobacco. Smoke a lot of cracko. I mean, this is a way that idiots believe. You know, that if you believe in any conspiracy, there is no one who conspires in the world. But obviously, people don't do that. No one conspires. Not like rich people get together and then just conspire about something. That's never happened. And if it has, it wasn't that bad. Just like the church that runs the state. I mean, no offense to the members, but it's like, it's not, they think that there's no one bad involved in the higher levels. They think like, well, of course there's bad people, but you know, they're no in the higher levels. You really don't. I mean, come on. Statistically, it's just gonna be the way it is. There's gonna be some bad guys, and some stuff came out, and it's just the way it is. And you know, you should embrace it. Embrace it, because if you don't, then you know the good guys win. Can't let that happen. And also, you know, the bad guys win too because they don't even get caught. So just embrace it. Embrace the criminality of it because it doesn't mean you're a criminal. It just means that, okay, you know that there's some around talking to people that you truly worship. So be embrace it, be aware of it. Whatever I should say to make it not sound bad. Anyway. So emails reveal Michael Wolff's political collaboration with Jeffrey Epstein to undermine Trump. Well, I mean, I know Epstein didn't have too much time around the whole being free and under the whole Trump thing, but I believe it. You know, he was a fucking intelligent asset of a country that starts with an I that you can't say. It's India. Russia. That's the funniest one. Yeah, he's an intelligent asset of Russia, and the only thing that comes out is that he tried to meet with Putin and could not. But he must be Team Russia. He had a fucking PM of Israel live at his house for like 3 months, but Russia. That's who he fucking stood for. He had a Star David on his island, but he's clearly devoted to the KGB, not just the Russians, but the extinct Soviet. Excuse me, the extinct Soviet Russians. That's who Epstein was loyal to. That's what we are now being convinced of by certain people who are intellectual. Doesn't that sound like the opposite of an intellectual? Doesn't that sound like someone you need to take care of round the clock because of their fucking mental health? But these are intellectuals. Okay, keep following the intellectuals because they're just so genius. We always can see it. As I've said in the past, celebrities are always right, and intellectuals, you know, if they say something stupid, they obviously did their research. Did you? So just because it sounds stupid, hey, realize something, you didn't do what they did. So you're obviously wrong. Go against your gut instinct every time and realize that, you know, God didn't give you these things like gut instinct for a reason. You know, you're supposed to be a subservient person. That's how you make it to heaven because obeying humans is apparently the way to do it. That's how the government has convinced people. And we should do that, obviously, because then we might live a little bit more comfortably in our slave kingdom here as a slave. Didn't that sound fun? Didn't it sound like a fucking video game? Not just the music, but I mean just the reality of that. Yeah, slave land. I want to be there. I'm gonna be there. We're there. What the fuck am I talking about? We've already been there. We've been through every single generation of it in terms of, you know, they have the 32, 64, all that. We're through the whatever the hell modern time generation is, and it's been long. But there was definitely some type of evolution in the 20th century, but you know. So I'm trying to see if there's any news that actually is relevant right now. It's kind of unfortunate, but there's really nothing. I mean, there's people. Iran and U.S. are holding talks. Oh wait, Iran and U.S. hold talks about holding talks in Oman. They're talking about talking. This is progress. We should be celebrating this. We should be getting, you know, we should be getting UN flags today. We should be waving them in the air and praying for peace. Because obviously, if they're talking about talking, there's no way that there will be any set up situations where in a negotiating room they get bombed. There's no country that has an interest to do that to Iran in the region, obviously. And then, so this is all a good faith effort. And, just like my shirt says, I mean that. As sarcastic as this might be, I do mean that. And, yeah, like, Iran, do what you're told. You might only get bombed a little bit. Okay? I'm not a U.S. taxpayer that wants this, but this is what's just gonna happen, okay? And you just gotta accept it like I gotta accept it. It's like, I'm a taxpayer. Well, I can't choose where the shit goes. It's gonna go to you. We need it. Our country looks like shit. I mean, the only reason it's decent to live here is just because in the 70s they renovated it to look nice enough. But, I mean, soon enough, it's just gonna look like complete shit. And it already does in a lot of cities. But Iran is the most important thing in our lives. So, thanks to the Trump administration for making sure that this is always a #1 news story and always looming over our heads, and a possibility that can always come true, possibly. Because you always want the looming threat of war, don't you? If you don't, then I don't know what kind of you're obviously not living life on the edge, and you need to, because it's the way to live. It's just, I mean, Lindsey Graham knows how it goes. He doesn't have nothing else in his life, but he's still like when he talks about war, he looks like he got 10 years fucking younger. Suddenly, it's like he just drank fucking vampire of a young person. He vampired a young person, drank their blood and shit, and he became young for a minute. Foments at the mouth. He literally foams at the mouth when you talk about war. Lindsey Graham. He would never fight a war, though. Well, what am I saying? This man is a patriotic person. I mean, he definitely will send you to fight. So, I mean, it means that, yeah, I don't know what it means about him, but that's Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham. Wanted to bring him up and give him a special shout out because you can't talk about an Iran war or Donald Trump without knowing that fucking crazy psycho is in his ear the whole time. So if you think that peace is the way to go, you just gotta you gotta like just get that tumor out of your brain that thinks that it's not gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's going to happen. It's a matter of time. Trump's actually held back much longer than I would have expected, but it's gonna happen. Okay? Too many Lindsey Grahams and Mark Levin's in his ear. And embrace it. Because, these people they're from a foreign country, they topple you, and why the hell wouldn't you embrace it? If you don't embrace it, you're probably gonna get shackled up. So embrace the shit. Embrace it and be a good slave, because if you don't, you're gonna be a dead slave. And I don't know what's worse. I mean, personally, I fear death more than being real in any capacity. So here I stand with Izzy. Moving on. Iran claims drone shot down by U.S. was on routine and lawful mission. Well, even if it was, we wouldn't admit to that. And honestly, they just need to all die. I mean, regime change, it's good for us. That's what we voted for, obviously. My shirts, that would have gotten, a lot of praise going into a Trump rally just a little over a year ago, obviously means nothing. He talks about he's ended 8 wars, and even though 2 or 3 of them were started directly by him, so ending all these wars, okay, well, some of them didn't exist until you came to the scene, brother. But, yeah, he's the peacetime president. Whatever. I really hope he doesn't go into this shit. But if he does, we gotta just embrace it, and don't be like Hitler. Okay, don't. Just don't. Because somehow you're anti-war. You somehow embrace the characterizations, Mr. Adolf. Moving on. Oh my god, everything's fucking Iran too. Give me 1 second to try to get the fuck out of Iran for a second, and yeah, not literally, but I mean in terms of topic, it's pathetic. Okay, British American skier apparently urinates fuck ice into the snow at the Winter Olympics. Fuck ice. And the way you do fuck ice is by pissing and forming an ice piss crystal of fuck ice. This is the type of demonstration that's going to change the entire face of planet Earth right there. Okay? Pissing into the snow fuck ice. I mean, you're really going to get it out there. You're not bothering giving your argument. You don't need to give your argument. You got your point across. And I mean, really, anyone who had an intelligent argument for you is stopped dead in their tracks now. Because you pissed it into the damn floor. They can't really, like, rub it out with their argument. We gotta accept that. If you're pro ice, you just took that fucking L. Accept it. Accept that shit. Okay? You know, you took a L. I'm sorry, pro ice people. I'm not saying I'm fucking anti ice, but I'm definitely, you know, pro pissing into the ice, saying fuck ice while doing so. You gotta differentiate where your mind is at here. And if your mind is in a place of thinking that, you know, protests are all just getting out in the street and grabbing a picket sign, you're out of the loop of the new age. Okay, the new age, we piss as part of protests too. Okay, even throw shit. Okay, and ice. You know, they freeze fucking ice water bottles and throw them at people. I mean, they're totally vicious there, bro. You know, so this just be happy it was only piss. Okay, I mean, this is an Olympian. They could have really did some damage with their protest right there. So that message, like I said, you people took a L, and you know it could have been worse. Could have been worse. The DHS denounces ICE arrest. Isn't that funny? The fucking Department of Homeland Security, the same thing. The people overseeing ICE denounces some ICE. What does it actually say? Denounces ICE arrests of multiple murderers, violent assailants, and drug traffickers. Yeah, I mean, the DHS is here to really just deport the people who, like, kind of, you know, follow the law, and they want to make a sad story out of it. But if you're actually a fucking criminal, it doesn't matter. And we constantly see stories all the time of them letting people out and they go reoffend, and then a fucking horrible murder happens, and it's like, why was he even out in the street? Well, you know, because of you know, the DHS is just happy with denouncing their own fucking fellow agency. I don't know if they actually oversee them, but regardless, I know that they were created around the same time. I feel like the Bush administration. Yeah, you know, good job, good job. You know, people died and once dies. And I mean, admittedly, I don't agree with everything these fucking people do either. But you just should be scared. The military state's here. Accept it. Move on. Sorry. Move on. We thought Trump was gonna be the guy. All right. He's not. He's not. I'm saying that here on fucking February 6th, 2026. He's not our guy. He's not here to save. If he saves the day, it will be the biggest redemption story ever. Because he's gone through 5 years of being the fucking president. Okay? And only has served one interest. Well, a lot of interests actually, but I mean, you know, he's proven to be more of a neocon than an outsider, as he was billed to be. So let's see next on the list. Send Ossoff to require ID at campaign rally while he fights ID requirements to vote. This is a wonderful, beautiful story right there. He wants to make sure he knows who the fuck is coming to his rally. But he does not care who the fuck votes for him, because it's like inclusivity in voting. But when you come to my rally, if you're going to heckle me, I want to know who you are so that we can send some motherfuckers to your door. Okay? We're anti-ICE. We're anti-grabbing you, you know, and deporting people. But I want to know who you are so if you heckle me at my rally, we can get the police to grab you out of bed in the middle of the night, you know? Because we're not hypocrites by any standpoint of the imagination, by any stretch. No. So, congratulations, Senator Ossoff, or whatever his name is, for being, just an absolute, he's just 100% in everything he says. No hypocrisy. This is what we need. More of in the Senate, obviously. Because the Senate is just, a great set of cast and characters. There's only the only people, if you the ones who think for themselves, the one or two, they need to be ostracized and voted out. I mean, and Trump's going after them, so Trump will eventually get them out, and we need to just accept that everyone needs to be, one-brained, one-minded, willing to all vote in unison without a fucking dissenting opinion, and not even try to sway the president at all, because that's healthy for a democracy to have just one guy in everybody's ear who's basically, threatening them, saying you won't get reelected, I'll make sure to run against you. And doesn't that make you feel good about this? That's the way it works. Make you feel, doesn't that tickle your fancy that that's the way it works? I sure am happy about it. I am. I mean, so if you're not, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I actually, I'm offended by people like that. I'm offended. Get the hell out of our country if you're not accepting of the fact that we are a fucking police. This is what it is, and you should love it too. Now, DHS announces ICE arrests of multiple murderers. Good stuff. I thought the DHS just fucking. Did I just misread that the whole time? Well, if I did, it just shows another beauty in how, you can pay for glasses and everything and get eye examinations, and it's just wonderful eye care in the United States of America. These are new glasses, by the way, and I fucked that up. So anyway, highway crackdown nabs unqualified big rig truckers. Hundreds of them were proficient in English. Totally. I mean, obviously. I mean, what the fuck? They're not. I don't care if they're not proficient in English, as long as they're proficient in driving the fucking truck properly. That's the thing we need to know. So it does say unqualified, but is it just because they don't speak? I mean, it doesn't say that that's the reason, but it also is the next thing that is said. I don't know. We they're not the. By the way, they're not the people that I should be looking for. Okay, and even though they didn't say ICE are looking for those people, we all know that ICE has heard that story and they're like, heh, they aren't proficient in English, huh? These truckers. So now you just flagged every damn trucker in America. Evil Melania Trump encourages Breitbart audience to see the full millennium. This is for all of us. History in the making. For all of us. And it has my name on it. Yeah, I just want to know if I just saying, if I ever decide to make something for everyone, I'm gonna put my name on it, and just that's it. Just Alex. It's for everyone, but just as Alex on there. So that's the kind of thinking that we're going with now, and I'm cool. I'm totally cool with it because that makes sense. And I've always operated under the we always got to make sense and be logical. So if something's for everyone, then obviously you got to put your own individual name on it, and that only. So good job, Melania. Your thought process is obviously your brain function is obviously fucking high, because I would have never thought of something so genius. Honestly, I would have thought of saying this is for everybody, but you made it even like you did like 3D brain like shit, man. Like You would think people would confuse that, but no one's gonna confuse that because you're just such a genius. You knew everyone's gonna see Melania and think that's for me, and my name is Eric, or that's for me, and my name is Tiffany, or my name is whatever. But Melania just says this is for all of us, and it's history in the making. With just her fucking name on it. I'm sorry, there's what's she doing that's historical, other than just being with a guy who's probably gonna fucking get us into World War III. Um, maybe I don't know. Maybe it is history in the maybe. Maybe everyone 100 years from now is just gonna be like, that Melania movie, dude, it just saved the world. Every single thing about it, like, it was so brave. It was released at the right time. The right person saw it, and he was right about to pull, and he was about to press a button on a nuke. Vladimir Putin was about to do it. They had killed 4 of his brothers, and he was about to press a button on a nuke. He saw the Melania movie and decided, nah, I'll just let me get nuked, and I'll just let the whole Jew world order take over. And he did. And then this is our history in 2100 in smart cities, and we're can't move more than 5 kilometers, and this is fucking great. But the Melania movie is what saved us. I don't know. You never know. It's history. This is history. I don't even know how the fuck to do a Melania accent, to be honest with you, because like there's certain Eastern European ones I think I can do, but I don't even know where the hell she's from. She's hot. I admit that, but I don't know where the hell she's from. So it's hard to. It's kind of like, yeah, I won't even bother fucking butchering that one. Yeah, it's hard reading a story if I don't even know who any of them are in it, because I can't even joke about it or even be. Uh, wow. Okay, well, I guess I will just leave it at that for today because the news is fucking stale as shit. But I will say this: there's a bunch of shit coming out about the Epstein files, and a lot of things, and it's not good. And I'm unhappy all this being kind of covered the way that it is, which is barely. And yeah, people just need to, for the sake of their soul, understand that shit in that file and some of it is just so sickening and shocking. And I'm sure that we haven't even got the worst of it. And the redacting a lot of the people's names of some of the worst ones. And without any sarcasm, these motherfuckers need to get. We need to find them. They need to. They not only need to go to jail, they probably should die. But we need to get to the full extent of it. And I doubt we will. These people don't really get held to account. So, it's hard to even sarcastic and say be optimistic about that, but just say, say no to these fucking pieces of shit. And back next week to make fun of it all. In fact, early next week, I will be back Tuesday.